Alrighty, so here we are back playing some more Tropico 6, and today we are on to episode number 2 of the mission Tropicoland. Okay, so in the last episode we set up a pretty good foundation for the rest of the mission, so let's get into it. Alrighty, here we are. And things are looking pretty good. Let's just press play for a bit. Let things sort of warm up and see how we're looking. Already generating tons of money, which is very nice to see. And let's go ahead and consider building ourselves some more entertainment buildings. Now, maybe a funfair pier. We don't have like a whole lot of options. We'll leave it be for the moment. So yeah, hopefully what we're hoping for is that, as you can see, this is typically how an island will run right here. You'll slowly lose money every month, and then you'll make a bunch of money, and then you'll lose money, and that's just, you know, the monthly upkeeps, and then all of a sudden you'll export a bunch of stuff, and that's typically how it goes. But as you can see right around here, things are starting to change, and from this month to that month we made money, and so that's really what we're hoping for here. Actually, this is the first time in a while it looks like that we're actually way above and into the positive, which is a good sign. So what we're hoping for is that every single month, no matter what, we're constantly generating money. Ah yes, now I remember exactly what we were going to do. We were going to start getting a lot of college-educated people working in offices, and already we have some spare people for this job, so let's go ahead and set up our first office building. This building should generate us some pretty good money. It'd probably be a good idea to get a bank down as well, and then we can start really changing over a lot of these hotels and stuff. But before we do that, I do want to set up a total of 2 airports. So 9,000 to unlock it. We might as well get it now and sort of get some ideas of where I want to put it. I always like doing, just not big enough. I always like doing 2 of them. Even that's not big enough that direction. I always like doing 2 of them, like one in front of the other like this, so it looks like it's just a ginormous terminal. I think that looks pretty cool. But for now we'll sort of just let things go. Let's consider building the Spy Academy. Definitely a good idea, but I don't know why this isn't working either. I don't want to abandon it. I feel like getting every TAO index point is really important. Have a yacht club, have an airport. So yes, that is definitely our next goal. To set up some airports. That'll be good. They take 15 electricity. Let's look at how much we have spare. Not a whole lot. Let's control left click the budget to set all of the wind turbines budgets 1 step higher, giving us a little bit of breathing room. Now, as you can see, every single month we are generating profit, which is a really good sign. A nice and healthy tourism island here. Tourism industry. Free Wheels has reached level 2. That's really nice. That means that it's going to be cheaper to maintain this. So only 750 from the original 1,000 per month, which is pretty expensive. Let's go ahead and max out the budget on this. We don't need the water coolers yet, I don't think, and there's all sorts of really nifty work modes for offices, but we're going to leave them all on corporate office, probably for the foreseeable future, and then maybe we'll have 1 on consumer, 1 on official, and then maybe 1 on solid or progressive.
The citizens are demanding a...
Let's go ahead and deliver our speech. We will acknowledge the housing issues. We can just praise, I guess, the capitalists. Don't need to blame anyone or promise anything.
They call me the broker. I guess I had another name once. But you know what names are good for? They're good for getting you arrested, Presidente. Well, that's not my game. My game would be business. Which business? Hey, what have you got?
And already, as we can see, we're starting to generate some pretty good money off this. Only $70 so far, but once it's completely filled in, things will be looking up. It's January, so let's quickly go through and see if there's anything that strikes my fancy import-wise or export-wise. What was it that we were doing? We were importing planks. Oh yeah, someone commented something and it kind of blew me away. The fact that our shipyard, in the beginning I was talking about it like we don't have planks, which I thought was kind of weird. But then someone said that we have an aluminum mine. And you can get an upgrade for welding plant. The building gets an additional in stock for 7,680 units of aluminum and 3,840 units of steel. The shipyard can produce ships out of steel or aluminum. In addition to planks, requires 5 megawatts of electricity. So we could have just bought the welding plant, and that would have actually allowed us to actually start producing ships from what we were already producing, which I think is pretty crazy. Either way, the money is just soaring in now. So things are looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and set up, as a matter of fact. Where is it? I am looking for the fire station. Media and education, tourism, public services. Yes, here it is. I'm simply blind. Okay, we'll do it here. Let's do it here. We can research it too to get a pretty nifty work mode on it. Let's go and quick build it. So something pretty interesting about fire stations. Let's max out the budget, and if we look at the work modes, now that we've researched it, we have building inspections, which will lower the increase of all buildings within the influence range by 10% on base efficiency. So the higher efficiency, the lower that's going to go, I believe. We're decreasing everything by roughly 12%, I would reckon, which is really quite good. So all of these buildings here are just a bit cheaper for us to maintain. Pretty cool. We have the money for it. Let's go ahead and set up an airport then. I mean, we could do one here-ish if we demolish our coconut harvester. Ah, this is why some poor people were, or some people are poor, and they didn't need to be. Let's look at our wealth. Yeah, only 49 for individuals. I don't think we ever researched and enacted child allowances. Let's go ahead and do that.
Do you know what is...
Should have done that a long time ago. 43 poor families still. A number of unemployed people. Someone working at a parking deck. There's not a lot we can do about that. Construction office.
Please excuse me.
Unemployed.
Nice weather.
Working in a hotel. Yeah, I reckon once we get some more job sites down. So let's go ahead and set up our first skyscraper hotel. Actually, before we do that, you know what? It's probably going to be an even better idea to simply set up an automated mine on, not aluminum, but I'm kind of thinking this uranium mine down here. Let's go ahead and do 2 of them. That looks fine to me, and yeah, let's let those get built up. Let's make sure that they're within our electricity range. They are. How much electricity does each of them take? 50, wow, that's a lot of electricity. So let's go ahead and bump up the budget on our wind turbines. That gives us enough electricity for these 2, and then we can build ourselves a nuclear power plant. And hopefully, oh wow, $32,000. Hopefully after we get the nuclear power plant running, we'll have like enough electricity for the rest of this mission, hopefully. We don't really have like a whole lot of room for expansion, so I don't reckon that we're gonna get the population too high or just get like too much going on the island to where we would need to build more electricity, but I guess we'll see. Could do it here. Go ahead and do that. Next up, before we get too far into it, I kind of do want to build a bank and then let our money climb up. So let's stay in ×4. We're definitely making money constantly. So right there, we've seen we're at negative 4,500. And then the next month, we're at negative 2,500. So we're netting roughly $2,000 a month, just depending. And then the exports will just help out by giving us pretty much free money, pure profit. Go ahead and honestly max out the budget on the uranium mine. Let's research the mines. Researching your what are these called? The very fancy mines. Automated mines. Researching these is pretty important because they have a work mode, waste not protocol. This technically, oh no, they require additional electricity with that. But this will pretty much increase the longevity of the deposit. So that's of course pretty good. And let's go ahead and go in and make sure we're not selling off any of our uranium. Definitely want to keep it on our island for us to use. Yes. And we can max out the budget here and simply leave things as is. Let's look at how much money this thing's netted us. 58,000 in its lifetime. The one for our population's only at 10k. And I thought I made another one. Maybe not. What about this roller coaster? It's lost us money over time. I'm not sure why. It's got a pretty decent service quality. Oh wow, this has 118 service quality. That's kind of wild. Efficiency scales the service quality of the building. Beauty increases the efficiency of that.
Citizens of Tropico
Allow everyone to vote freely. 28k or 20,000 coming in. That's good. Now we have the electricity up and running. Okay, so now we have electricity for tourism, but before we do that, let's go ahead and set up our bank. This is just a lot of like pretty easy money for us to be making. So it'll definitely be good to have it down sooner rather than later. And we have a little bit of room for a little park here, so let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and fill in the rest of this little city block here. Let's leave it on ×4 while we let the money just climb on up. And then we'll set down our first airport, and we'll start changing all of these hotels into the very fancy skyscraper hotels. We should have the electricity for it. We should like have enough money incoming with the bank.
The election is a landslide, Presidente. The metaphorical kind, not the kind that accidentally reduces the size of the workforce.
Yeah, I'm gonna quick build the bank just so we get it now. This building here, the office, is netting us $400 a month. That's really good. And very soon we're just gonna be raking in hundreds of thousands of dollars a month from this little island. Little tourism island. And then we'll be free to pretty much just do whatever we want. Like, there'll be no limitations on what we'll be able to do. The bank's already netting us some good money. It's going to generate more money if we have more money in our treasury. So that's why we're gonna just hang out in ×4, let the money build up for... I would be comfortable if we had like 100k. So while we hang out in ×4, let's go ahead and zoom in on our little island and get a good little sense of what's going on here. Things are looking pretty good. I don't like the amount of people walking. I feel like there should be more people driving. Nice little corner. You can go up to, I think that means the spicy chicken. El pollo picante. Yeah, this little plaza here, this little area is looking pretty nice. I like the way it looks. This is why I like building up these very simple city blocks that have a sorry, not 2, but they have a 4x6 on the inside. And so that leaves lots of good room for various buildings to be set up very neatly. The tenements are 2x3, so you could fit 4 of these neatly in here. The clinic is a 3x1, so you can fit one in a little quadrant, a little corner here. And you can put a bunch of parks in front of it, hotels, apartments, the cocktail bar. You can put this in here with a park. Casinos, 4x2s, can go in sideways. So it pretty much takes up 2 quadrants, and we put a bunch of parks in front of it. Your groceries can fit in neatly. A cathedral will take up pretty much an entire city block on its own. Here we have the fashion company, which, like the casinos, can fit in sideways. Research labs, I never really built these, but they fit in, and they leave a 2x4 in the background. So lots and lots of different options that you can do. Cabarets fit in neatly. And now we're up to 200,000. Yeah, I've made some really big cities with this layout. It's really quite good. Sometimes the traffic will break down, but typically you're looking pretty good if you set it up like this. Let's go ahead and set up our airports then. I want it to look kind of neat at least, but we don't really have a whole lot of room here. Yeah, now we're just gonna have to do something maybe like this. I've never done this design, I don't think. Although I do think that's kind of dumb. No, if we leave one space gap there and then put just some roads down through it, I think that kind of makes up for it. Cool. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and quick build both of these. We have the money for it. Let's max out their budgets, of course. And then one of these, we're going to have to research this building. One of these I want to do luxury airliner. So a normal airport, tourists that show up in this are going to be rich, right? And then if you change it to no frill airliner, this means that a lot more people, a lot more tourists can show up, but they're only going to be well off. And then if you change it to the luxury airliner, then tourists arriving are going to be filthy rich. But for now, you know what? Let's leave one of them on... No, let's leave them both on our economy. I think that's fine. And now comes the very cool part. We're going to start replacing all of our hotels with skyscraper hotels. Let's go ahead and set up 2 like this. Let's demolish up these 2 here. Let's play in ×2 for just a little bit. And let's put 2 more skyscraper hotels in. Anytime that we have any spare college educated workers who are unemployed, we're going to build up more offices. So let's go ahead and try and find a nifty little spot for one. I reckon here's a good spot, and here. Cool. Things are looking pretty good. Where is our construction office? What I want to do is I want to get more hands. More job slots for our Tropicans, and that's also going to help us get buildings up quicker without me having to quick build everything. Now that we're running low on money, the treasury's low, as you can see, we're actually losing money from the banks. That's why it was kind of a good idea to have probably saved up more than 100k before I went on this little spending spree, but we're still definitely in the positive. It just would have been nice. Let's go and max out the budget on all of these. Housing quality 88. Fantasy reviews, very good. Already just showed up. And we're about to have some airports. I should have staggered, like, quick building these because I think 2 airplanes are going to show up at the same time, which I think might kind of look funky, but yeah, it'll probably be fine. The bank's back to netting profit, very good. And let's go ahead and demolish.
Denies any truth to global warming, climate change, or ozone layers. Changes in sea levels are merely the result of large mutant lizards.
Let's go ahead and start upgrading. Oh, you know what? I didn't even need to just demolish this. I could have just upgraded it. 50 people showed up. I wonder if they fit into any of our skyscraper hotels. No, that's kind of weird. That's fine though. Max out the budget on all the offices, of course. And now we have modern apartments. Cool. So solar panel windows, always going to be a big buy for your modern apartments. It's going to save you a lot of electricity over the course of time. I think it's, yeah, like they're 50 on average, or like when you buy them. And it's going to decrease them by 30. So they're using less than half of what they originally started out with, which is pretty important. And so I think eventually what we'll do is we'll probably demolish the tourist port. The tourist port actually also has a work mode luxury liner that lets rich tourists show up, but we're probably just going to demolish this one and instead move everyone on over to, let's decrease the budget on this, move everyone on over to being rich tourists. So we'll only try and do stuff for rich tourists to enjoy. That way we're just like making a lot of money. Yeah, let's go ahead and let the money get built up again for a little bit. Here's a nice little plaza.
The Coastersaurus is a success! We officially have the scariest roller coaster in the world. That's great news, as long as you ignore the injury reports.
Hey, we're just giving the punters what they want. Nobody gets into a roller coaster to feel safe. I think it's the way it sort of sways in the wind. Marketing's using that as a USP. Anyhow, so watch that TAOA score explode. Cool. So free TAO points. Check on the money and stuff. Yacht Club. That's what we're gonna do next, is the Yacht Club. Maybe, yeah, we should do the Spy Academy, honestly. Yes. Speaking about Spy Academies, I was on one of those sites that you go to search for a job. What is it called? Indeed. And I saw something that I thought was kind of funny. It was literally a job application on Indeed for an FBI agent. And I just thought that was kind of like comical. Like, oh, how'd you become an FBI agent? It's like, oh, through Indeed. Like, I don't know. Just seemed kind of wild to me. But anyways. Yes, we'll build up the Spy Academy next. Do the espionage raid. Maybe we could do it now, depending on how much it is. I think this building's, yeah, it's not like one of the more expensive buildings. It's kind of cheap. Let's go ahead and do it. Ooh, we could fit it here. Ooh, we could fit it here. Let's demolish up these parks. I don't really like the way they look anyways. Demolish this road. New road like this. Cool. And we'll let that get built up. Alright, so Spy Academy will be done next. Yacht Club. So we have 2 airports. Activate work mode luxury airliner for at least one of them. So let's go ahead and just do that for one, I guess. This will be the luxury one, I reckon. We need 1 Yacht Club, and we need to have 10 filthy rich tourists. Okay, so not the most difficult of things to do. Maybe what we do is... we're gonna need at least 2 luxury hotels. So let's set one up here. And I'm kind of thinking we do the other one maybe here. And then each of these is gonna need their own parking deck. Gonna quick build those. Max out their budgets. Okay. And then all we need is literally just a yacht club. Yacht club. Quite expensive. Let's let our money get built up again. Yeah, we definitely would have been making more money if I would have just let it get built up quite a bit more. We probably would have had like 30, 40,000 more like spare money. I really like the way that like your Tropico cities start to look once you start replacing everything with skyscrapers.
You've lived in a nation. Now play the game. El Presidente has officially licensed the new Tropico Everybody Loves Presidente video game. On sale now.
So I'm not like big on politics, but I do like political theory. And there was something that I thought was pretty interesting, just something kind of wild, to me at least. China, their president has won like most of his previous elections, I believe, with like absolutely landslide victories in his elections, like over 90%, I believe even like 100% approval rating, which sounds pretty wild, but I had an interesting idea. You could sort of do this in Tropico. First and foremost, you could just turn off elections with martial law, right? And you just enact martial law, become like pretty much like Caesar, you know? That's quite crazy, but there's another thing. In your constitution, under voting rights, you can do... Oh, wait, no, never mind. This doesn't work anymore. Because I always had this idea. It's always like in the back of my mind every time I like look at these voting rights and stuff. It'd be cool if you could do wealthy citizens vote and open ballot elections. I think I've talked about this literally before, but the reason is because you could make all of your government buildings give a well-off wage, and then you can make it to where only those citizens vote, and then, you know, there's a 100% chance they vote, which would be kind of crazy. But scrap that idea. I'm talking nonsense. Tourist planes, bringing people in, very, very good. I'm curious, did we get these up and running? Yes, let's max out their budgets. And wow, look at that. So we're spending, how much on upkeep? Yeah, so we're spending $400, but we're netting $800 from these luxury hotels. Let's go ahead and set up over here, substation. Cool. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and set up a little poor population island maybe around here. Just something like this, I think, would serve us nicely. Let's honestly demolish these cabins. Like, we really don't need them. Let's go ahead and quick build these up, and then we can extend a little road down on into here after that cabin's gone. And then what we can do is put a new parking deck in here for these guys. Quick build it, and then we can build them all the amenities that they're gonna need. Build them up a quick grocery. I think that looks fine. Let's go ahead and build them up a little clinic as well. Just so they don't need to like travel too far for the things that they're gonna be needing. And I guess we can do a real simple restaurant for them as well. And I don't think that there's really anything else that we're gonna really need to be doing for them. No. But now, if you're like working out here in these islands, typically the closest housing option for you is gonna be one of these two tenements. No matter what wages you're being paid, you'll be able to afford it. And then it'll have all the amenities that you're really gonna be needing just right here. Right, so you got a grocery, you've got a clinic, you've got a restaurant to come visit, and then you have a parking deck to help you get either to and from your job, or if you're going to the cathedral in the main part of town, or just any other places that people really need to be going. Very quickly, let's go ahead and throw down some parks, keep it nice and pretty looking. Let's do this one here. Let's do a 2x3 out in front of this, as well as over here, I think. And then we can simply throw in maybe this one here. That one there, this one here, and then I want to do like 3 more. So let's do a 2x1 first. I think that looks fine, and then this. And then there's a little bit of room here for a 2x1. Let's do that. And let's go ahead and finish it off by doing something over to this. Okay, cool. So now hopefully the housing situation in this area is taken care of for the foreseeable future. We can probably afford to electrify these as well, giving us a housing quality of 75, which isn't bad. They're electrified, armed caretaker, maxed out budgets, decent enough. So people living here, they'll be happy. So this means that we probably won't have shacks. Let's go ahead and actually just turn off shacks. Typically, I don't do this. I think it's sort of in bad taste. Like, if you're just not efficient enough, then you're going to have a lot of shacks. But for now, we'll just go ahead and turn that on, just for the sake of not only the video, but keeping the shacks away from population, from the tourist population, that is. Let's go ahead and set up. Is it luxury entertainment? Is it tourism? Ancient ruins under tourism. Yeah, let's go ahead and... Well, no, I don't want to do that because I kind of have a feeling they're going to ask us to here in a little bit. Let's do a yacht club. And as a matter of fact, let's do 2 yacht clubs, what I'm kind of thinking. Cool. Yacht clubs are pretty cool. They're like a super wealthy person thing. All of our skyscraper hotels are starting to get filled in, so let's go ahead and simply demolish up like 3 of these and fill these in with even more skyscraper hotels. Cool. So those should get built up nicely. Let's go and demolish yet another couple of them. I think we're almost to the point where we have only skyscraper hotels, which means that it's probably time to simply demolish our tourist port. And yes, everything's looking really good.
The lifeboat station's in place. As far as anyone else is concerned, it's for yachting. Our own secret seacock. Look it up.
We're climbing up the TAO index with each new attraction. We just beat the Somali pirate simulator. And we're closing in on the Guatemalan Razor Museum. Keep it up. Okay, more TAO index points. Very good. Oh, we finished our Spy Academy. Go and max out the budget. Nah, we'll keep it here. Open up the raid screen and let's do espionage. Which one do they want us to do? Knowledge? Yes, knowledge. Let's go and do that. Let's actually cancel the previous, what's it called? Fantasy reviews. Yes.
When people get hurt in a theme park, it's the dude with the deepest pockets who always gets the blame.
But in this case, they'll be coming to me. It's the rich man's burden, Presidente. I get that. It's human. People don't think about money when disaster strikes. They think about it later, when the compensation lawyers arrive. So, I need assets now to liquidize later, okay? Alright, guy. Go ahead and do a golf course. We'll do it here. Let's max out the budget on all of the skyscraper hotels. Skyscraper hotels, they have a little work mode here, which will decrease the room slots. Housing quality goes down, but the efficiency of each office is increased by 10%. So, with the maxed out budget, I reckon that we would need 3 skyscraper hotels set on this work mode to increase the efficiency of our offices, which I don't think is too important, but it is a cool idea, if anything. Maybe we can sell some of our uranium. I don't think that it's super duper necessary. Yeah, 77,000. Let's go ahead and sell the uranium. We probably won't run out by the end of this episode. And that will net us some pretty good money. Planks, uranium, boats, all that's going out. How our... Oh, so we have too many offices, as it turns out right now, but that's fine. They're netting us good money. $51,000.
Nothing raises property values like a golf course. It's white gold, but not in a racist way. Well, maybe a little bit.
That golf course is my nest egg, Presidente. It's a nice one too. Watch out for the vicious dog leg on hole 9, and the vicious dog attached to it. Ah, golfing jokes. Anyhow, your park score must be whopper right now. You're welcome. I do not understand this golf joke. The vicious dog leg on hole 9. More TAO index points, very good. Yes, let's wait for our raid to finish, and while we're waiting, we'll just let the amount of money we have just continue to grow. Let's check in on our happinesses. Haven't really been doing this too much. Let's fix crime safety. We could probably get this down to like 0 pretty easily, with like 3 or 4 police stations. So I mean, actually 100. We can get this all the way up to 100 pretty easily. Liberty, we could throw in like a couple newspapers, maybe like a TV station, radio station. Radio station first, though. Let's go and do that now, actually. For a number of reasons. First off, we can do the upgrade music all day, which will... Oh yes, and all of your media buildings actually fit in these little city blocks, which is why I love doing them. Let's go and quick build this. And the upgrade music all day will increase the service quality of all entertainment buildings in the vicinity of the radio station by 5. So it's just a flat 5 points. Like, let's go and look at this casino. As we can see, we're getting 88. If we upgrade it, that should be 93, right? And as you can see, 93. Perfect. Let's max out the budget, and honestly, we could probably do... Let's just leave it on open mind. Get that Liberty cruising. As we can see, it's now up to like near 80, close to it, and that's good. Honestly, probably gonna be in my best interest to simply demolish these, replace them with more hotels, and then find another way to get food onto the island. We could probably just do like a couple of hydroponic plantations, a couple of the fancy, what's it called? Oh yes, here it is, factory ranches. Are you guys getting this done? Should be done very soon, cool.
The world is an odd place, isn't it? One day's friend is the next day's enemy.
I sometimes wonder, President.
The comrades are restless, President.
Okay. That's not every hotel. Let's demolish up these two.
Presidente, we've identified our DNA. It's a genuinely extinct creature. It's not technically a dinosaur, however, it's a squirrel.
But it is an extinct breed of squirrel. If we can resinate one, resinurdinate, it'll still be a wonder of science. We're branding it the Jurassic squirrel, even though it's not Jurassic. The word tests well in focus groups. Okay. So
Initial
15.
research,
Cool.
Presidente, indicates that our Jurassic squirrel is in fact the fabled Tropican electric squirrel.
Cool. This squirrel lived on an isolated island, creating a unique evolutionary branch. As its tail became bigger, static electricity buildup provided a viable defense mechanism. This most probably led to extinction due to breeding difficulties. Anyway, we'll make one ASAP. We just need to know more. Okay, so we need at least one research lab with the upgrade artificial neural network, and we need knowledge points, which we have plenty of, so cool. All we need to do is buy this upgrade, right? $3,000.
Good
Cool.
news, Presidente. We won the ethical debate. Apparently, 93% of scientists prefer research grants to ethics.
Okay, but also, bad news, Presidente. We can't actually recreate creatures from DNA yet. We did make a small puddle of biomatter that screamed briefly, then died, but that's not particularly marketable, so we located some super rare Patagonian humping squirrels instead. We can simply say that we made them with science. Ah. Lie.
Presidente, some of your squirrels have arrived. There are fewer than promised, as some have apparently eaten the others on the journey.
Meanwhile, the worldwide TAO is still at an all-time low, and a squirrel-themed park could provide the novelty we need to attract tourists. We're planning 4-season themed habitats: Squirrel Meadow, Squirrel Beach, Squirrel Forest, and Squirrel Mountain. I hope you like it. The brochure is at the printers, so have park, the 3x3 parks, have them on 4 different islands. Revenue from tourist fees and accommodations, so we're definitely making way more than that. Let's see actually how quickly we make this. Wow, look at that. We just made $7,000 in like literally no time at all. So all we gotta do is throw down some 4x4s on different islands. Let's go ahead and simply, sorry, not 4x4s, but 3x3s. And it's specifically, I believe, the parks. So these ones here. Let's go ahead and I guess we can just keep it simple and just sort of chuck them out there. Oh wow, that's a very ugly spot. Let's give these guys 2 then. Oh, not enough space. Cool, good enough. Have them on 4 different islands. Did I not? Oh, I put 2 on the same island, I think. I reckon we can put one on the main island somewhere. I mean, good enough, right? And now let's go ahead and put in the 2 skyscraper hotels that we were going to replace this with. Let's build up something for... Okay, so this is why, you know, having rich tourists on the island is really nice, because as we can see, this is no dress code. And currently, anyone who is well off or better can visit this, and it's giving a service quality of 86. So not like the highest of service qualities, so people will prefer to go to something else probably. But if we change this to high ruler, the building requires visitors to have a minimum economic wealth of rich, which all of our tourists are. Increases the fee by 50%, so as we can see, the fee is only 240 if we have tourist only on. So let's do this now. That goes up to 360, and it's also going to increase the service quality by 5 points, so 91. Very, very good. We can also do laser show. 15,000 requires a bit of electricity, but now we're at over 106, or over 100 with 106. So now all the tourists are going to prefer to come here.
You know what our amusement park needs? Some amusements. And I have the perfect flume ride design. So safe, you couldn't even use them in 8 out of 10 countries.
Of course, we can't stop the squirrels getting into the flumes, but remember, in development, there's no bugs, only features. Wet and furry, the only wet park with live squirrels screaming in the slides. Boom, your park score's gonna skyrocket. Have an aqua park. Cool.
All 4 squirrel habitats are complete, Presidente. They are all identical, but we will paint murals around them to pretend that they are different.
Squirrel Mountain is especially close to my heart. My original plan involved a roller coaster through the mountain itself, but we cannot afford that, so I built a gift shop instead. It sells squirrel-tailed hats. Cool. More TAO index points. Let's go ahead and throw down a aqua park. I believe this building snugly fits. Oh, it actually takes up like a whole corner, but that's fine. Well, you know what, we could do it here, and then we can do... Oh yes, there was one other thing that I wanted to do, which is to simply start replacing all of our apartments with these skyscraper apartments. So we'll focus on that next, with the next like 100,000 that we have. Let's max out the budget on these again. Just make sure it's maxed out. Oh yes, this should be for tourists only, so, you know, they're paying $9,000 instead. Let's max out their budgets. $1,200 per visit. And then there's an upgrade. Filthy rich tourists can use the building for departure. Increases the personal rating of tourists departing from here. So let's go and do that for both.
The citizens are demanding elections, Presidente.
Another election. Cool. Let's do crime safety. This time we actually will focus on it.
The wet and furry flume is a huge success, and at half the cost I had budgeted for safety inspection bribes. Score!
Now, I wouldn't recommend that you ride there, Presidente, unless you get a tetanus booster, and maybe a rabies shot too. Actually steer clear, and lock the palace at night just to be safe. Okay, so, more tea.
My Tropicans.
This game's pretty funny
They call me the broker. I guess I had another name once.
How silly.
But you know what names are good for? They're good for getting you arrested, Presidente. Well, that's not my game. My game would be business. Which
That's
business? Hey, what have you got?
I wouldn't go there unless you get a tetanus shot. Actually, a rabies shot. Actually, just don't go. And actually, probably just lock your house at night. Like, anyways, what am I looking at here? Private landing, we got that. And we could do mucho importante. Requires an economic wealth of filthy rich. Increases the fee by $100. Service quality is increased by 10. Let's go ahead and research it and do that. If I can find it. Yacht Club. Mucho importante. So now $2,400 for each tourist showing up. That's crazy. And what's the service quality? 129. Very good. You know what we could also do is a gourmet restaurant. Visitors must be rich or better. Thank goodness all of our tourists are rich, right? Let's max out the budget. Tourist only, $370. 105 service quality, pretty good. Cool. Things are looking pretty good right now. Was there something else that I was supposed to be doing right now? I don't know how I'm gonna get the TAO index any higher. I was hoping that it would give us additional little objectives. Hopefully this isn't it. Here's our tourist rating. Let's demolish these cabins.
Oh, Presidente, your squirrel initiative is wonderful. They bury the nuts that grow into trees. They make more nuts to bury. It's, like, divine.
But don't stop there, Presidente. I mean, yikes, roadkill never buried any nuts. Presidente, you have to do something about the traffic before the blacktop's carpeted in fur. Have at least 2 bus garages with the electric buses upgrade. Build 1 telepheric station. Oh, 2 telepheric stations. And we get 1 solar power plant for free. Cool. So easy peasy. Some electric buses. I don't think it's a terrible idea, but I mean, honestly, we could also just like quick build them. Get the electric buses upgrade. What else do they want? 2 telepheric stations. Quick build both of those, and just like that.
With all these bus routes, Tropicoland is super green, Presidente. And I'm sure you won't regret saving all those cuddly squirrels.
Cool. I always wanted to make a suit out of nuts, then stand in the forest so all the squirrels would climb on me. I've since met some squirrels, however. Though they are adorable, their claws are very sharp, so yikes, scratch that one from my bucket list. Cool. We'll take the TAO index points, of course. Why would we do anything else? Let's actually go through and demolish all of this. Oh, can we only destroy one of those? Whoa, look at that. That's quite wild. Ah, rebuild station. Cool. Good to see that they recognized that that was a possibility. Oy vey. Max out the budget here, make that for tourist only. Let's focus on crime safety for a bit. Police stations, let's demolish this part. Police stations take up a 2x4. Or, yeah, 2x4. Let's do another one over here, I reckon is a good spot. Let's do one here. Ah, if we could fit one there, that would have been nice. Ooh, what about, no. We can do one here, I reckon that's good enough. Let's go ahead and quick build those on up.
Good morning, Presidente. Here's my plan for our rodent-themed resort. The Nuts Casino.
The roulette ball is an acorn. The croupiers are dressed up as trees, and we're using little plastic hazelnuts instead of chips. The cashier cage will have trained squirrels inside it with the cashiers, and of course the waitresses will wear squirrel tails. Interesting. So we already have the 2 casinos, and we already have all the rich tourists. We have like almost 7 times as many as we need. We'll take the TAO index points, of course.
The Nuts Casino and Resort? It's a success. We're lucky that nuts turned out to be a poker term. My bad for not checking.
I hear that everything's going well, except that the trained squirrels keep choking on the plastic hazelnut chips. Turns out that you can't train squirrels to not eat nuts. That makes perfect sense.
We ordered Patagonian humping squirrels to kickstart the population explosion, Presidente. But did we go too far?
You see, we also engineered the nut trees on Squirrel Mountain to deliver a hormonal supplement that will increase the animal's natural instincts. In case of an overbreeding accident, I suggest we develop a failsafe protocol using the spare DNA I found in my laboratory. Okay. We need one more juicery, add upgrade, nutcracker to all juicery buildings, and then we need to acquire knowledge. So that sounds like a bit of a waiting game. Let's go ahead and simply, shrimply get another juicery up and running then. Don't want them right next to the last one. Let's put it down here. Go into ×4, and then we can, honestly, here's this one. If you control click the upgrades, it'll do it for all buildings, even unconstructed ones. So this one already has the upgrade, as you can see. It's got the nutcracker upgrade. And then we just need to save up knowledge points, I believe. Cool. Just like that, we have 2, and then we just need to save up 3,000 more, 3,900 more knowledge points. Easy peasy. Let's max out the budget on this, make this for tourist only, playback equipment. And we could do burlesque axe, increases service quality by 15 and fee by 10, and you need to be rich to visit. So, of course, all of our tourists are rich, so that makes sense. More money generated from that building. Cabaret. Oh, I shouldn't have spent the points. Stupid. I needed to save them. Either way, burlesque axe, that's fine. $165. Let's look at how much money this has netted us. 55k, pretty good. What about our original casino? 150,000, very good. Less and less people are coming to it as of recently though, because we're starting to make other things that they want to visit. I suppose that we can spend a bit of time putting up some more tourism. As a matter of fact, I kind of want to do something. No, we'll just keep it simple. Do this one here, this one there, and then maybe one more here. Let's do another parking deck here. Probably a good idea to get at least one more tenement down somewhere. Let's do a blue one. Here, let's max out the budget on the police stations, get the upgrades for all of them, and let's, I want to research it so we can, how much does it cost? I always like researching the police stations because it gives us access to a pretty useful 375, like, I think that's fine. We have always on duty. So even the police officers' homes will start generating some decreases in the, what's it called, crime safety nearby. Or increases in crime safety, I guess. Max out budget there, things looking good. Here, there, and everywhere. Let's do the upgrades for these. Now let's go ahead and simply start. Needs electrification. We can electrify everything.
Sure, the good citizens of Tropico intend.
I'm gonna vote freely, and then we can simply modernize all of them for 40k. Cool. Are we out of electricity? We are out of electricity. Let's go ahead and do, I guess, another nuclear power plant. I'm sort of, honestly, kind of being lazy with my construction methods. Usually I try like my hardest to make the islands look really, really good, but today I'm a bit more focused on just being straight up efficient. I think that's a bit more practical right now. The island still is looking pretty good though. Not gonna lie. I really like the way it looks. TAO index is going up as well.
The election is a landslide, Presidente. The metaphorical kind, not the kind that accidentally reduces the size of the workforce.
Where are our airplanes? 40 more tourists just showed up. Tourist. Banana and pineapples. Let's see if we can find an import for those. Not really. We can get an import for Furniture, though, from America. That's just a free $50,000. That looks pretty good to me. Importing planks. There was something else that I was thinking about. What was it? Oh yes, the Caribbean Trade Pact Association. This is pretty much the best edict in the whole game. Kind of thinking it could be pretty useful, but we'll ignore it for now.
Ah, Presidente. We ordered Patagonian humping squirrels, but got Patagonian hunting squirrels. It's a keyboarding error, apparently.
They're the most dangerous breed of squirrel on Earth. There haven't been many fatality, but the electric fences on Squirrel Mountain went down when the cheap non-union wiring was chewed through, and a school party is trapped. Their surprisingly photogenic teacher is allergic to nuts. Whatever shall we do? I don't know.
As usual, I have taken one for the team, Presidente. I stayed up all night watching terrible movies to find a solution unlikely enough to work.
It seems the humble squirrel's potential for violence has been ignored by a Hollywood too risk-averse to portray the real dangers of rural life. But modifying standard giant monster plan 6, I calculate that a gigantic pile of bananas should attract all the rodents to a single place. So we need an ancient ruins, and then to deliver bananas to the ancient ruins. Cool. So let's go ahead and do that then real quick. Let me quick build it. Are we producing bananas is the question. Bananas. No, we're not producing any bananas. Which means, first off, let's get a road down to... here. We need to do something about these bananas. We could just import like a couple thousand units of bananas. Yes, let's do that. Let's import 8,000. Because we're doing that, let's go ahead and go into trade and turn off banana exports. Cool. Good enough. Don't need to produce them when we're rich enough to buy them, right? And can someone bring uranium to the nuclear power plant, please? Let's max out the budget on this. Get the second shift upgrade. Maybe that's why we're running into some slight logistical issues. This island doesn't really need... Oh, low rebel threat from what? Why, oh why would there be any rebellion going on is beyond me. Maybe because people aren't happy enough. We have lots of jobs. Homes are taken care of. All the happinesses are up. There should be literally no reason for anyone to be upset. Crime safety's through the roof, liberty's through the roof, food, healthcare, fun are all doing fine. I'm not sure what the issue is. Maybe a foreign spy? But I don't really want to spy on the population to figure out who it is, so... guess we'll just ignore it, sweep it under the rug, and hope that it's not a humongous issue. Cool. Did we? No. Yes, everything's looking fine. I think. Don't need any of this. Beach resort maxed out. Let's make this for our population. As a matter of fact, we can do something pretty nifty. There's an easy way to get 100 service quality on something. It's the Funfair Pier. This building very easily gives 100 service quality. So let's go ahead and do that for our population. Max out the budget. I think it's, yeah, extra round. So let's go ahead and let's wait for the stupid points that we need, and then we'll do it. Maybe I should have been using our Spy Academy.
Announcing the winner of our competition to win a signed portrait of El Presidente. Penultimo! Congratulations, number 2! We knew 1,000 entries.
Those squirrels are foolish to match their furry little wits against your formidable intellect, Presidente.
Your plan is working perfectly. The enemy is gorged with banana and unable to move. Now, to trap them, we need only cut off all transport routes to the island they are on. For those squirrels can swim, they must wait for 1 hour to swim after eating or risk cramping. Is that true? I heard that that's not true, but I remember as a kid we were at like what's it called? We were on like a field trip, and I swear like we all got to eat and the teachers told us to stay out of the water after we ate, and I went back in and I started like I don't know, like my legs and my back started cramping and it felt like I was gonna drown because I couldn't swim. So I don't know, I feel like that's true. So easy peasy, all we gotta do is literally come over here, demolish this bridge, probably demolish this, and while we're at it, let's go and just demolish up all of that.
The island is isolated, Presidente. The squirrels are trapped. Ha! You should see the looks on their furry little faces. Priceless.
Some civilians still live on the island, but only via a daring survival gambit. They have stolen novelty squirrel tail hats from the gift shop and are learning how to chitter and blend in. We must keep on fighting to make your dream of Tropicoland come true. Cool.
Is this my fault, Presidente? Did I try to play God? Oh, I hope not. Playing God is the #2 cause of death for movie scientists after disembowelment by aliens.
Anyway, thank goodness that your plan worked. Trapped and having eaten all the bait, the rodents quickly turned on each other. The last two, horrifically obese squirrels, are caged in my lab. We're safe. But for how long?
The island is isolated, Presidente. The squirrels are trapped. Ha! You should see the looks on their furry little faces. Priceless.
Cool. Some civilians still live on the island. Oh, we already read that. We must keep on fighting. Okay, we read that too. So the last thing, all we need is 2 different entertainment buildings and have an average fun happiness of over 70. Very easy to do, actually. All we need to do is build... Oh, the funfair pier. Okay, now we can research this, right? Now let's actually finish this little... What's it called? Side quest there. While we're at it then, let's go ahead and just throw down literally anything. You know what would really help out is a stadium. Let's go ahead and research and put down a stadium for our population. Max out the budget. And that's going to give us a lot of slots for people to come visit. But it's also going to give us a service quality 100. Stadiums are kind of like one of the best buildings in the whole game for entertainment. I mean, it makes sense, right? Look at all the people just like swarming to it now. So that should really help out with our fun happiness, which was kind of low. So now that should definitely push it up probably over 70 just by itself. And then we needed 2 different types of entertainment buildings. Let's throw in, not a movie theater, that's kind of a low one, I think. We can do, let's do another restaurant. Actually, let's make it 2 restaurants. Fit one here, we can. Let's max out the budget. And of course keep this for our population, but we can do freezer upgrades for all of them. And that's going to push the service quality to 96. Now I'm curious, this is reaching everything except for the stadium, but the stadium's doing fine, so don't really need to worry about that. And let's see, we just need 1 different type of entertainment building. So let's go ahead and... Our funfair pier is done. Is it at 100 yet? No, we need to research it. Anyways. We can do... Honestly, let's do a theater, I guess. Theater for our population, cool. Go ahead and throw in simply a modern apartment up here. Let's max out the budget on all of those. And let's go ahead and quick build a theater. Cool. Max out its budget as well. Good enough. Fun happiness is about to be over the limit. I wish I would have, what's it called, finished this little side objective first. Yeah, it's okay. Ooh, you know what? We can demolish this real quick, right? Oh no. We already completed that. We're not going to be able to complete that side objective. There's no way. There's no way we generate 800 points before.
You did it, Presidente! You did it! You cracked the tough nut to have Tropicoland take first place on the POT index, Penultimo's objective theme park rating.
Nice. What about the TAO score, you ask? Ah, these small-minded boars are incapable of acknowledging our life-changing entertainment concept. And not to forget the scientific achievements in rodent resorination. We spared no expenses and gave people something different, something they can only find in Tropico. Cool.
Ah, Presidente, we never did manage to top the Tau index, but we sold the movie rights for a fortune. More than enough to pay off all those wrongful death lawsuits. So, if there is a lesson here, it is not that we should try and understand science better. It is surely that we should try every crazy idea and worry about the consequences later. Later is the best time for everything. Don't you agree? You have done it, Presidente. Victory is ours. I mean, victory is yours.
Cool.
Project Nutcracker is going great, Presidente. We have the perfect solution, but we're gonna need some uranium, okay?
So yes, some people get nervous when uranium is mentioned. It gets bad press, but we professional scientists consider it to be quite safe, at least in geological time. And it's the perfect stuff to give a project that little extra zing. We need quite a lot, please. Too bad we don't get to, I mean, we can just quickly see, I do kind of want to see, like the end of this little chain here. We have a lot of uranium, I believe, right? Do you still have a lot of uranium? Let's turn off the uranium deals for now. Uranium. Delivered to the Cyber Operations Center, okay. Cool. And our support should go up. Doesn't look like it is. That is okay. I wanted to research something. What was it? There was something that I was gonna research, and I kept saying that it was best just to wait a bit of time.
Presidente, have you heard? Uranium, Presidente. That's environmental enemy number 0 being mined right here in a theme park?
Like, no way. I mean, I like Dr. Culpepper just fine, but no way that with holy crap sauce and are you crazy sprinkles, Presidente. That's a quality. No way with holy crab sauce and are you crazy sprinkles. Please listen to me, that stuff is super harsh. If you're gonna mine it, at least make sure you're planning for disposal too. Please have at least one uranium mine with the dangerous waste disposal upgrade. Cool, I mean, that's super easy, right? Have at least one mine uranium. Does it mean like a normal OG mine? I think it does. Let's demolish one of them. There it is.
I'm so glad the radioactive death slag is being properly disposed of, Presidente. Hey, what's with those yellow drums decorating the seafront?
The radioactive death slag. I mean, you know that you can't keep nuclear waste here, yeah? What's that? The drums are anti-erosion defenses and have been colonized by a family of hermit crabs? I suppose. If you say everything's fine, Presidente, then it must be fine. Tra-la-la. We'll take the wind turbines. Cool. Oh, we need to modernize it now. Cool. Anyways, just a little bit more uranium, and we'll finish up this little side objective. I want to see, like, I definitely, if I can help it, I want to finish off every single last objective, even if it kind of stretches out the episode a little bit longer.
Project Nutcracker is complete, Presidente. This is something I've been dreaming of ever since I was 6, when I genetically spliced my dollies.
The failsafe protocol guarantees 100% destruction ratio in case of emergency. That's all of the percents, Presidente. Do you know how rare 100% is in science, Presidente? It's 100% rare. My whole team deserves a raise, Presidente. No, seriously. Cool. So that looked like the end of it. So that completely wraps it up. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like. And if you want to follow along with the rest of the Tropico 100% series, then be sure to subscribe. Peace.